So there's two different formulas. They do the same thing. You could say circumference equals 2 pi times the radius. So remember, in a circle, the radius is halfway across. So that's our radius. Or you can say circumference is pi times d, where d is the diameter, because 2 radius, diameter is all the way across. So diameter would be all the way across. So 2 radiuses make a diameter. That's why either of these formulas work. So if they give you a circle, they're going to give you a radius. So I'm just going to make it up. Let's say it's 11. So you can use the formula 2 pi times the radius. Well, they have to give you that, or they give you the diameter. So in this case, the radius is 11. So you would do 2 times pi, and if your calculator doesn't have pi, you can use 3.14. So you do 2 times 3.14 times 11, and that would give you the circumference. So what does that come out to be? 60 something? So can anyone do that? 2 times 3.14 times 11. $69.08. So the circumference is 69.1, whatever your unit is. I'm just going to say centimeters. And then just to remember, let's say if I gave you a circle and I said that this length right here was 30, so that would be the diameter. So what would the radius of this circle be?
It'd be 15.
It'd be 15 because it's half the diameter. It's half the way across. All right, Denise, any other questions? All right. EJ, your question. Or EC, sorry.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, this is Ethel. I'm in the Algebra 1. I'm
Okay.
really just starting the class and I'm trying to get the concept, and I've got some videos that I've been going over today, so I'm just really trying to understand it all together.
Okay. Is there anything specific you've run into yet that you don't understand?
Well, it's hard to have the screen of those problems up with this one, so I'm going to see if I can pull up a problem and then put it up.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, could you explain how the commutative properties of multiplication?
Okay, so like is it A times B equals B times A?
Okay, well, Like I said, I don't have a problem that I can pull up right this
Can you
minute.
read the problem to me?
Okay, now I'm trying to, let's see. Okay, now what would this one be? It's like a 5 times 6 equals 6 times 5. What would that be, one of them?
Yes, that would be the commutative property. Basically, it says you can multiply in any order. It doesn't matter.
Okay, all right. So, okay, all right. So what if I have like where they have the problems where it's like in the parentheses 3 plus 5, and then there's a plus 9 equals 3 plus 5 plus 9.
Like that.
In parentheses, the 5 plus 9.
So that's the associative property.
Okay.
So it's saying you can associate either way. You can the 3 and the 5 or the 5 and the 9.
Okay, okay, I got you. Okay. Now this one, where it's 5 times 1/5 equals 1.
So that would be the multiplicative inverse.
Okay. Okay.
See, by the inverse of a number is basically, you know, flipped kind of.
Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, I'm just trying to understand that concept.
Yeah,
If
they're
I
just a lot of properties. They probably want you to know just what the properties of the numbers are.
Right, okay, okay. So it's not really a okay, they're just saying that's the concept of what that type of problem represents.
Right, it's almost like definitions.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, I understand that.
So
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, Kat, any questions from you? All right, so then the next thing I was going to go over is just a review of solving proportions. So a proportion basically says how, you know, if two things are equal, what is that, like that third thing or this unknown need to be to make them equal? So there's a couple ways you can solve proportions. A lot of you probably have learned where you cross multiply and divide. So if you go, that means you cross multiply. So 3 times 12 is 36 equals, and then you go the other way, 4 times x, which is 4x. And then you have to solve this. So Denise, you're going to be getting into solving. Some of you might be used to solving. So if you have 4 times x, we want to undo the times. So we would divide, because the opposite of times is divide. So x would be 9. So if you think about that, 3/4 equals 9/12. Well, is that, excuse me, true? Because if you had the fraction 9/12 and we want to reduce, remember reducing fractions? What goes into both 9 and 12? Well, 3 does. 3 goes into 9 3 times, and 3 goes into 12 4 times. So you can see they're equal. All right, so here, if we're going to divide to solve a proportion, we could cross multiply and divide. So if we go this way, we have 2 times x, which is 2x. Then we go the other way, 8 times 6 is 48. How do we get rid of the 2?
Divide by 2.
So x is 24. So we have 2 6 is the same as 8 24ths, which Makes sense because if we reduce 2/6, that's 1/3. And 8/24, 8 is 1/3 of 24. So that works. All right, so you go ahead and try that one. Cross, multiply, and divide. All right, so if you cross multiply, you have 3 times x is 3x. 9 times 8, 72. How do we get rid of the 3?
Divide by 3.
So what's 72 divided by 3?
24.
24. So x would be 24. So proportions can be useful when you want to solve, real life problems, basically. So let's look at this question, question. It says a recipe calls for 2 eggs for each 3 cups of flour. If you use 12 cups of flour, how many eggs do you need? So we're going to set up a proportion. So it says you need 2 eggs for every 3 cups of flour. So we want to know if you use 12 cups of flour, how many eggs? So we're going to set this up over here. Now notice we have 2 eggs on the top, so we need eggs on the top over here. Do we know how many eggs?
No.
That's what we want to find. So we're going to call it X. We don't know. 12 cups of flour. So we know we have 12 cups of flour. So notice how the top match. You have eggs, eggs, and then flour on the bottom, flour on the bottom. So now we can solve it just like we solved those other ones. So we're going to cross.
Can I say it? 3x equals 24.
Yep. Or if you did 24 equals 3x, that would be fine. Either of those is fine.
Yep, because 2 times 12 equals 24, and then 3 times x equals 3x.
Good. And then to get rid of the 3, we divide by 3, so we get 8. So you'd need 8 eggs.
Yep.
All right, we'll do one more. All right, if you have 3 gallons of gas, you can travel 72 miles. How many gallons for 144 miles? So again, we're going to set up a proportion. 3 gallons, you get 72 miles. So that's the same as how many gallons. So what has to go on top on the right side?
Gallons on top and miles on bottom.
Yep.
And there will be no gallons, and there will be 144 miles.
Good. So we don't know gallons, so what do we call it when we don't know?
X. We call it X.
Good. So now we can solve, cross multiply. 3 times 144.
It's 432.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then we have 72 times X. Divide that. What do we get?
6.
6. 6 what?
6 equals X, or 6 gallons.
Good. So X is 6 gallons. So if we need 6 gallons to go 144 miles. All right. Anyone have any other questions?
Nope, I have no questions.
You can give me, I don't know, can you guys give a thumbs up or thumbs down? Or yes, no, in the chat? I think you can. I don't know, is that an option you can pick? Oh yeah, so if you pick yes, no, I can see your response. All right, well, if no one has any questions, I want to thank you all for coming. It's always fun to, teach math. I love math. So if you have any other questions at any time, feel free to get a hold of me, chat, email. And thanks again for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you for teaching us.
No problem. Hope you have a good night.
You too. Thank